6:30 a.m. on installation day, and I wanted to share with you what we've done to prepare the kitchen before the installation. So actually you can see that all of the counters have been removed. You'll see that here this counter is still here, but it's coming out right after we shoot this video. I wanted to actually show you that we were able to disconnect it, but leave it just in place here so that I was able to have a surface to prepare lunches and do a little bit of chopping or whatnot. So the kitchen's not fully functional since we removed the plumbing, but it's still functional. If you somehow are not able to keep your pre-existing countertops, another thing that you can do is take a piece of melamine. This is just a melamine shelf that we had, an old melamine shelf that was in the garage, it wasn't being used, and you can have a surface like that. You can, warm up a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Something else that needed to be done in preparation was to empty out all of the cabinets where the sinks are going to be installed. So this is where the main sink will be installed, and that's emptied out. And back here, this has been emptied out as well. You'll notice that when the plumbing was removed, this was stuffed in order to stop any kind of odor from coming out of the piping. In this case, what we had the plumber do was to actually cap the plumbing. I don't know if you can get in there. And the reason that we did that is so that we could keep the dishwashers functional while the sink was not, which actually minimized our inconvenience during this time. They did tell me on the phone that the floors need to be protected, and I didn't ask them if they meant the kitchen floors or the wood floors when they walk in, because they said that they need to be protected because of their boots, and I can't remember if it was both sets of floors. So I'm very ready with a lot of blankets on hand. When they get here, I will find out. So again, these are coming right out as soon as we finish shooting this video, and you see we've emptied out underneath the cabinets, and we're about ready to go. Getting excited.
Super cool to see how they transport the granite countertops. Just succeeded in sliding in that piece. Wow. Here's the sink counter. With the cutout for the sink rather. This bar that's right here is in order to keep the granite solid even where there's a cutout for the sink, because it could be, I guess, a little bit weaker at that point. So this bar that you see, this full length, actually keeps the granite solid while they're transporting and installing it. Already installed the small counter with the mini bar sink. When I went to say goodbye to the kids, they were leaving for school. This must have happened while I left the kitchen. So here it is, and we'll be putting in the sink. And of course, you see there's the one hole for the faucet. This is where there's going to be a small seam. So they haven't pushed the counter all the way in yet until they bring in the small piece and create the seam. So right now they're just heating up the bottom of the granite to warm up the stone, because it's super cold coming in from outside, and at that level of cold it probably would not stick as well as it could if it were warmed up. So right now they're heating it up to make sure that it sticks well once they do it down. This is beyond cool. What's going on here is this is basically a suction machine that is going to join the two pieces of stone to form a perfect seam. So we're a little bit later, and you can see that the section has brought the two counters together. Some glue was inserted along the way. I didn't film that part. And look how beautiful it's come together, because the seams are aligned like we spoke about in the earlier blog post about how choosing the two slabs that were one after the other would allow us to make a seamless seam.
So it's it's a few hours later at 9:30 actually, and it's done. The counters are in. The faucets, of course, are not. They've just placed them to make sure that they fit the holes, which of course they do because we had them on site for template day. And they're in. We need to wait 24 hours for the glue underneath the sinks to dry before we can connect the plumbing. But tonight we'll be able to put all of our stuff back on our counters. We could actually do it right now, except I've got to get to work. So, so that's it. We're super excited. We think it looks beautiful, and I'm sure it's going to look even better once we get the backsplash back up.